You like my Muppet shirt I got from Baltimore?
Oh, cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So what the fuck was that?
Oh man. Oh gosh, where do we start? Okay.
This is the very definition of just a mindfuck of a movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just saw everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah. It encapsulates the name. It leaves an effect on you, doesn't it? It's like,
I almost don't even want to do this kind of review with it.
Yeah.
I almost want to sit down, maybe even rewatch it. Maybe not even talk about it at all until I get a chance to see it again.
Right.
This is an out there movie.
Right. Oh gosh. So where do you want to? Okay.
Let me describe the premise first.
Yeah, and I missed the first. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You showed up a little late because Ubers.
Yeah, in traffic.
You missed like the opening sequence where it's like basically just building the what we call in the screenwriting world the ordinary world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Basically, it stars Michelle Kwan as a wife and mother who runs a laundromat.
Yeah.
Her husband is played by. Oh, I just looked up his name and I've forgot it. I don't want to say it because I don't want to screw up the guy's name. Oh, but it's by the actor who played Short Round in Indiana Jones. He played Data in Goonies. Plays her husband, and they own a laundromat, and they want to expand, but they have to go through, of course, the IRS.
Yeah.
With an agent played wonderfully by Jamie Lee Curtis.
Exactly. Yeah.
She is the exact stereotype of like your IRS, DMV stereotype.
Yeah.
And basically when they go there, she ends up. Her husband starts acting weird, and what it is basically she finds out that her life is part of a multiverse, which if you've seen anything from Spider-Man, No Way Home just recently, all the way to something like Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
You know kind of what that is, where, where she has all these other lives based on, of how her life could have turned out depending on all kinds of factors.
Yeah.
And it's infinite, where everything from just, is from as simple and realistic as a completely different occupation to human beings evolved to the point where they either turned out as rocks, turned out as piñatas, or turned out with hot dogs for fingers. Like, just, this is...
when there's infinite, you know, which is in our human psyche, is so hard to conceptualize infinite anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So...
basically this movie is like everything. This movie is a fantastic comedy.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic existential drama. It's a fantastic sci-fi film.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic action film. It's a fantastic martial arts film. This movie, when this movie says everything, everywhere, all at once, that is the perfect name for this movie. This movie is everything, and it has everything.
Right.
Yeah, because very much what this movie kind of ultimately builds to, just before any of that, it's a great comedy because it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. A lot of like deadpan kind of slapstick humor. Yeah, that works though.
This movie is that insane like Federico Fellini, Alejandro Jodorowsky, just insane shit kind of comedy.
Yeah,
mixed with like The Mask.
Right.
You know, like if you say, especially like Rick and Morty, that's really what this movie almost is. It's like Rick and Morty for like the A24 audience.
Right,
it is just insane. And they commit, like this is by the guys that did,
who did,
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army, I heard that.
And if you ever saw that movie was crazy. Like this movie makes Swiss Army Man look...
It's like those...
Sane.
So the people who did, Swiss Army Man, when you think about, like, concepts, like, yeah, let's do that. Like, that's the vibe I get from these creators. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Daniels.
Right. Now, I didn't get to finish, actually, Swiss Army Man. That was years ago. I need to pick it back up. But it's something about, like, concepts. Like, what if a guy got stuck on an island with a dead body?
Yeah, and the body could, like, function as these different...
And let's see this tools. To fruition. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a fleshed out concept.
Yeah.
And to watch it. And, I guess you can think about that, too, in terms of what they say. That's kind of like been a random fact floating around, like, oh, there could be infinite universes where there's different yous. And you see a lot of quips about that online, like, well, maybe there's a universe where I'm not a failure. That kind of thing, right? And so it's interesting how they take concepts and, like, flesh it out into a story.
Kind of like, it's very much, like, that's the philosophy, of it. You had all kinds, like Matrix... was based heavily on Descartes, who literally believed, what if my brain is, where he was basically the radical skeptic of, how do I know I really exist? How can I prove it? I can't prove I really exist, so I can't say that I really exist. I could be, for all I know, a brain inside of a box with images being projected to me, and that was the entire basis of Matrix, where they're putting them in the
Right,
in the
and
tubes.
there's actually a term for that, actually. It's like, what, I am only... what I am because I think I am.
And that's what, that's where they got that, quote, I think, therefore I am.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where that comes from, is Descartes. And then his philosophy was the basis for Matrix. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Very, very, like, what I called it, I was like, this film, a treatment for nihilism and existentialism, honestly, for sure. So
because kind of like because again on like the subject of Rick and Morty, the ending of this movie reminds me a lot of like the ending of the most recent season of Rick and Morty, where it finally brings that stuff with like the evil Morty into. I don't know how much Rick and Morty you've seen. Where it finally brings all that, where it's basically Rick and Morty has always been sort of this has always been comedic nihilism. The world is rotten by nature, and the best thing we can do is burn it all down. And that's what like the very last episode of the last season of Rick and Morty kind of built to. And this movie, like you said, is very much kind of a remedy of that. There's so many rotten things in life, and yet we have to choose to see the good in that.
Right.
Yeah, and the way that's like kind of explored is through her daughter. You find out that like what the objective of this movie is this like ruler of the multiverse is a version of her daughter from one of those that she created, because she ended up being like a multiverse scientist in one of these, and stuck her daughter into these helmets. They travel these multiverses through like these earpieces, and
they jump.
They jump, and like. She ended up creating her daughter from, like, you pushed her too far and it caused her to fracture, and now she has all these powers to jump at will through all this. And
to my understanding, it was that she is all of her.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it versions at once.
Yeah. Because she was the one that was full on pulling things and turning other people into, like, other versions.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think this is a movie that I almost can't do a review on this, like, in the way that I want to, just because...
I don't want to get super sciencey, because I can. That's the thing.
I just want to make sure research I have a full understanding of it.
Right. Yeah. If you've done research in nihilism, existentialism, transcendence, that kind of thing, it seems kind of cartoony. I don't want to, like, spoil anything, but, I don't know. A person being... turned into a bunch of balloons or something like that, like, oh no, that's all. But it's like, actually no, because it's like, oh, we're all molecules and particles and that like kind of thing. So it's like movie. And also too that what was that quote, was it by Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think it was. It's like no, it was that scientist, I think his name was Carl, I can't remember his last name. He said, we're all stardust. If you've seen Contact, you know the quote that I'm talking about.
Oh, Carl Sagan.
Thank you, Carl Sagan. So, we are all stardust. You know what I'm saying? So, really, everything that is comes from one, origin. Like, our universe exploded.
Right.
We are everything, you know what I'm saying? And again, I don't want to get too sciencey and deep into it. Obviously, a car is not a living thing, a dog is, but still, we all descend from, like, the same blip, honestly. And so when I was watching that, and you kind of see those concepts in there, like, different whatever objects being turned into different objects for no reason, I guess kind of if you want to maybe think about alchemy, I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You being able to write that kind of thing. Again, it seems cartoony. It seems really, unrealistic, but it's like, no, not when,
Yeah. This, yeah. I'm trying to think of something else I was going to say about this movie. I applaud the two guys that made this movie.
Yeah.
I thought last year when I saw Titan, I thought that was something, I'm like, nobody is going to top a movie like this for a while. Titane, wow, this movie isn't anywhere as grotesque or intense as that movie was.
Okay.
But man, is this movie just, it's just wonky. Wonky as hell.
Again, I say if you're somebody who has not explored those concepts before or things like that, like, and I'm trying so hard not to reference Doctor Strange, but because Doctor Strange is a very good film in terms of it gives you little bite-sized pieces into, if you want to compare it, Doctor Strange gives you bite-sized pieces into this kind of concept, and this film gives you all of it, like completely overwhelms you with it, and it washes over you. Like in Doctor Strange, they talk about the concepts of, the laws of physics is real, but because of, there are infinite universes, they don't apply to every universe. You can break them, which is why they have the rules in Doctor Strange, like what you can and can't do, hence the, the Sanctum Sanctorum and protecting it, and him being the Sorcerer Supreme. He's supposed to protect those laws within our universe. In other universes, that doesn't necessarily apply. So if you cross that over, then you can bring those elements into. You see what I'm saying? Like it's you see what I mean? And I think that's what this film did. Again, Doctor Strange gives you like these, certain scenes or whatever, like when he's messing with the time stone and he flips between, I just ate an apple. No, I didn't. That kind of thing. This film gives you like all of that. Full front. It explores it's very much an exploration on like, what I could have been and what my life could have turned out. And this constant wondering of, she sees like herself becoming an actress, and in that scene they actually use actual footage of Michelle Yeoh on the red carpet, because you even have a shot of her standing in front of a banner of Crazy Rich Asians. And also there's a part in this movie where they're literally watching the movie. They're literally in Everything Everywhere All at Once. They're literally a scene where they're watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it ends and you see the title card for by Daniels. That my heart skipped a beat. I was like,
I hope they're not ending. Surely they're not ending the movie right there.
But they could be for everything we've seen so far. Is it that kind of movie? Like, for sure.
I'm like, I don't recall them saying this was a part 2. What are they doing, the Dune thing?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But this movie is very much like it is one of the most inspired, out there, surreal, like existential movies done in the style of Hong Kong martial art films and the just bizarre batshit sense of humor that you saw in Swiss Army Man.
I should have known she was gonna fight when I saw who it was who's playing the lead. I should have known it was gonna be.
Michelle Yeoh's awesome. She is the only thing that even remotely makes me find Tomorrow Never Dies tolerable. She was a Bond girl, and she's one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most underrated Bond girls, because she's the only thing of that. Like Tomorrow Never Dies, most people will tell you that is not one of the best Bond films. It's not. She's the only thing that, to me, her and Jonathan Pryce. He plays like a parody of Rupert Murdoch as the villain in that movie. Okay. Yeah, that one's about like an evil media mogul who makes disasters so he can report on them first. Yeah, the two of them, only reason to even remotely pick up Tomorrow Never Dies.
Count on her.
Yeah, for sure. It's something
for everybody.
Yeah,
it's literally something for everybody in this movie. Like legitimately.
Yeah, this movie, and I'll tell you right now, this movie is too crazy to get Oscars. This movie will probably not get any Oscars. I would love to see this movie. This movie right now, even though I've only seen maybe 10 movies this year, right now it literally has 3 of my favorite performances of the year. Michelle Yeoh, the actor who plays her husband, I forget his name. He's fantastic in this.
He is.
Oh my God, his range.
Yes.
For somebody who has not been, I don't know.
Is he new? I mean, not new, but you know what I mean. I
don't know. I don't know if he's been doing. I don't know. I'd have to look up what all.
Maybe a transition from.
Maybe he. I know.
China to.
I know he was, I believe, a fight choreographer. I believe that's what he was on the very first X-Men. But other than that, I don't know what he's been in since he was like a kid. But man, his range. His action sequences to his sense of his comedic timing to the just emotional scenes. I would love to see him get an Oscar nomination. And I also love the daughter. The daughter is fantastic. Stephanie Sue, I think is her name. I don't know what she's been in. She is great.
She does she's done more theater. She's in the past few years she's gotten into film, but she's theater. So you kind of see that, right? The theatrics, being able to for sure.
Yeah, this is 3. Yeah, this movie has 3 of my favorite performances of the year so far.
For sure. I'll tell you what's gonna get next year if they do it again. It's gonna get all the fan favorites. You know how they did that this Oscars? All the fan.
That was the dumbest thing ever.
I liked it, Logan. I liked it.
What I thought was dumb, what I think is dumb about it is they made such a big deal about it, and it got almost no attention at the actual ceremony. And not only that, but the fact that Spider-Man didn't even get it. Spider-Man came in behind that god-awful Cinderella movie they made for Amazon.
Oh yeah, it did. And
Spider-Man came in behind that. That's why I think it's a bullshit award.
I don't think it's. I think it's a. I kind of like the idea because. I'm kind of
exclude movies.
They do a lot.
Spider-Man,
and for instance, for years I've been saying if I could pick any Oscar category and make one up, it would be Best Ensemble Cast.
I've always thought that too. Exactly. I do a video on that every year. Oh,
exactly. You see what I mean? And so to see them kind of do something like that, like, well, what was the best what was the award? What was it? Like they included the Endgame, Assemble
cheer moment was like the one.
Right, they did the Flash going into the speed. Yeah, like that kind of thing. Like I liked it, love. I mean, yeah, it means nothing, but
stunts is another one I would have added.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they've said for years stunt men, and stunt women don't get the attention, and just the attention, especially when you realize they have probably the riskiest job in the film industry.
I think I like it because I think it gets the conversation going. Because also too, it turns out you don't really know when the Academy is going to exhaust a category. Because again, what did they do during the when The Sound of Metal was nominated?
They consolidated the 2 sound categories.
Right, you see what I mean? So I think it's good to have the conversation going. You never know what they might,
Yeah, but see this movie. I love it.
Absolutely.
I like I was saying, I don't know even what to rank this right now. I loved this movie. I don't know if to go ahead and just give it the full 4. I don't know if just to give it a 3.5 now, maybe change it, or I don't know.
Give it everything. No.
Give it everything. It gets everything.
It gets everything. It gets everything and nothing.
It gets everything and nothing. It gets the 10 stars in the universe where I do a 10-star system. I love this movie.
Oh gosh.
Oh god, yeah, this movie is out there. I'll give it a 3.5 now. I don't know. I might bump it up to a 4.
It's certainly a rewatch. It's certainly a go back, and it's worth your money.
I'm definitely gonna try to rewatch this sometime within the next year before I do my top 10 list for next year.
Yeah, for sure.
I finally finished my one for last year.
Okay.
I gotta upload that tonight.
But yeah, for sure. I can't talk. I
always wait until the Oscars, but the thing was there were so many movies that came out so close I couldn't finish I just couldn't get the video done. And I'm writing a script right now, so I'm too busy. I'm just way too busy right now.
Yeah, that kind of thing, right?
So we don't have any trailers to talk about because I missed trailers too.
You did?
Yeah. I was waiting on food. Since you said you were going to be a little late, I just went ahead and ordered some food. And by the time, and the movie was literally just starting as I walked in.
God dang, traffic got me. Yeah. So that was that.
Oh well.
Have you seen any interesting trailers in the other films you've seen?
Not anything that's just stuff that's about to come out. Speaking of about to come out, I am probably going to go see Sonic the Hedgehog this weekend. And I'll probably end up doing one of my scripted reviews for that one because I don't think there's anything interesting coming out next Tuesday that I'm going to see. But the week after that, I'm going to make sure to call you. We got The Northman.
Okay.
Starring your husband.
The Skarsgård.
Yeah, so that and also that same week, we'll put this one probably the week after that. The Nicolas Cage crazy shit movie. A bearable weight of massive talent. So that will be our last Tuesday in April, first Tuesday in May.
Right.
Movies, those two.
Would you happen to know when Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness
that is in
that's May, I know.
June or late May or June. It's like 20 something days because I was looking through the little thing where you can order tickets on the computer.
Yeah.
It says it's like 20 something days away. So it's it's later on.
Okay, yeah. I'm traveling at the end of May but I wanted to be here when it premiered.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go see that one with my brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he loves Marvel stuff. So.
Yes, absolutely. I'll look up the date. Again, there's so many things I can connect this film to Doctor Strange with. It makes no sense. Like absolutely. Yeah. But because it's so much to talk about, but like if you go into it, again, if you're not familiar with a lot of these concepts or, just if you're a novice to it, it's not even going to overwhelm you, really. It's just it's an entire experience.
Yeah, that is the perfect word for this movie. This movie is an experience.
It is.
This is like there's parts of this that are almost like Tree of Life.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The bagel thing, the whole bagel thing.
Right.
Yeah. I loved this movie. This movie is out there.
I
feverishly insane.
I was wondering if I was thinking too much into it, which is probably a good thing, I guess. I was like, is this a concept for a black hole? Like the bagel? Because, in Interstellar, so that's the closest we've come so far to a visualization of a black hole, because they rendered it based off of math equations, and the mathematicians in physics, they were like, that's pretty dang close to what that's so interesting. Math is literally a language.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how do you get that? Say, oh yeah, that looks like what we're talking about from a bunch of numbers. But anywho, so I'm like, so if you have seen it and Google Interstellar black hole, it's the best I could describe it to is it almost looks like Saturn, but no, because it's like it's rings, but that's because I can't get into it. But anyways, so I'm like, is this like a playoff of a black hole? I saw before they mentioned it.
That's definitely what it's kind of like doing from the beginning. You can tell by the color, like the first time you see it, and then what it ultimately becomes is it's very much this. It's meant to symbolize, this succumbing to giving up, succumbing to that level of nihilism,
right?
Before she finally realizes no.
Yeah, she says, I put everything on a bagel, and again I'm like, black hole, because as they say, our universe is going to get pulled into one eventually, and then but at the same time, which is another theory, that is going to start all over. You see what I'm saying? Because again, infinite, which is again a hard thing for humans to conceptualize, but it's like everything on a bagel, everything goes into a black hole and comes out the other side, and it also, you know what I'm saying? But a bagel. I was like, I won't look at bagels the same way anymore. I'm like, everything's on a bagel. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So I think we've dented, gotten into about as much of this movie as I think we possibly can. Good, great. This movie's a lot.
I could find a lot to talk about, but it won't make sense. It's hard to. It is certainly. This is a review, but this film is a conversation. Yeah. It is a conversation. Yeah. So, yeah.
This is the kind of movie that's going to get, like, people are going to be making 20, 30-minute videos and putting on YouTube, dissecting it. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Twitter's going to love this.
It's like, it's in that being John Malkovich genre of movie.
Yes. Right, right. Absolutely.
Next week, maybe a Sonic review. Week after that, definitely Northman. So... All right. See y'all then.
See you later.